MV3 Traders Futures Trade Radio is brought to you by The Ultimate Trader's Guide, your one-stop shop for the most valuable income-producing information on the internet. Go to ultimatetradersguide.net to learn more. Link in the description below. All right, what's going on? How we doing? Get a whole lot of sleep last night. Interesting morning, I put it that way. So I'm getting started a bit slow. I mean, a bit late. Got some more stuff to go do in my checklist. I'm not gonna rush it. I haven't even looked at the charts, like in terms of like trying to look for a trade yet. Give me 1 second. Before I get going, we had an interesting, so here's your pre-market awareness. We had PCE at 830, and there was an interesting supply run after PCE. Taking us into the bull zone moon and beyond. Kind of just hanging out right now at the open. And you know, as I say that, we're pushing the high. So it'll be interesting to see how far we go. Of course, off of that kind of, anything is possible, but I wouldn't be surprised to see some retracement. Got a couple points of interest where we have some volume gaps below us, starting at 15,220. So just gonna ride the wave and see where it takes us. Get this out of the way. I'm gonna start focusing on my execution. I almost thought about not even trading today, so I didn't get a lot of sleep last night. But I have some things to kind of check my awareness, and still feeling on point this morning. We'll see. I'll ease my way into it. I won't try to be too aggressive. Like we're setting up shop around the session highest, which has been like the thing to do for this week. The overnight high. A lot of participation has been happening around the overnight high. When we make it there, actually, you know, this whole week has been an interesting first 45 minutes. The pattern's been somewhat consistent. that same frequency. Another lift of the session high, raising the supply. This is pretty much keeping up the same pace that I've seen all week. And that doesn't mean we gotta, that same exact thing is gonna, like the same thing that happened in the other days this week, doesn't mean it's gonna continue or be the print exactly the same. But so far it's still, going through those same motions. There's another lift of this recession high, continuing this slowly and choppily. Lift the supply. This DJ Khaled price action. So having some technical issues on my end, so interesting to see where this session, this supply run goes. We are lifting the supply, not with a lot of energy. And I can see, I don't want to speculate or anything too much, but I can see how this would excite some buyers or anyone holding a long bias. I actually missed the trigger. Because of my, I don't know, whatever reason my thing didn't. I pressed the button, but it didn't do anything. I'm trying to figure out what's going on with me technically. So we got a supply response mechanically at 300. Followed by some quick inventory, 292. Taking us into an area of interest or some point for those with a long bias. Volume coming in at 310. short term, kind of establishing some inventory around that 290. Just gonna call it the 295 range. 292 and 296. Average that out around 295, roughly. I caught a bit of that, but I kind of messed it up. Didn't take it the right way. So I am realizing, where my awareness is. Surprisingly, isn't much different than the rest of the week. Judging by the energy, we are getting some does appear that we are getting some increased sell interest up here. So of course, off of that, that's going to be anyone who initiated a loan in that 260 area. This is a good place to cover. Could also be some shorts up here, but that in no way means that we're going to see lower prices, that we're going to start dropping the inventory. These are just transactions that are being facilitated by Wholesale. We have good reason to take price in either direction. This A period is going by pretty quickly from my perspective. At about 5 minutes before B period. Drop of the inventory. Got a little volume gap right there below 306. We're seeing the inventory response. 2 minutes before B period. Not a whole lot of taking place, which is that budgeting price action that or that price action that I refer to as budgeting. Also just setting up for wherever they want to take their interest to next. So grab that inventory off the open. And grab all they took all the way I'm reading that, they took all of the orders that were in that area, in the range that they set up, or their range of interest, let's just call it. They grabbed all of those orders in a way that would seem to not have any, like, a pattern to it. But I just put it this way, just understanding the way that humans work, and then even if we're going to use machines, or we're going to use an external tool or whatever I'm trying to be careful with how I phrase this, because they're not to excite any triggers. But even when humans use tools that automate themselves, like these automated tools, it's going to be based off how humans work. So we can only do what we're wired to do naturally. And as I'm saying all this, we're getting some interesting B-force volatility coming in. It's not really taking us anywhere, but this is kind of that same, in line with what I'm talking about, how this looks like it's just sporadic and all over the place. But there is if you zoom in and you really just look at the pulse of it, there is what's the word I'm looking for? There's an energetic pattern to it. It's not as random as it would appear to be, if you're not really paying close attention, or if you're not looking for. It depends on your perspective and your beliefs and how you're looking at it. So we did kind of set up in that little short span of volatility. There was a mechanical print of supply around 326, and then inventory at around 314. Now those are not points, those are ranges. So at the top of that range we got 316, but we are showing I'm seeing a mechanical inventory response. Now we're going to take it down into the inventory zone. The low of that is around that 311 area, and then that inventory response there should take us to supply. The low of that supply could be at that 322. First supply response. Wouldn't be surprised. There we go. Just as I'm about to say it. We're gonna lift the supply. getting in that session high territory. What is it? I don't think that was a lift of the session high. Grab that, whatever liquidity that we created up there. Now we're going to take that back inside, trigger the emotions. Really pulling on the emotions here as we're taking it into a place that are set up for, that are kind of create some confusion. All right, so now we're going to run that liquidity that created. Rinse and repeat. Back inside that original shop, back near the previous supply. Now that's inventory. Should definitely have some liquidity below 320 if wholesale wants to use it, as well as above 336. Yep. When I have the ability to just stop and hold price and be a creep, wait for everyone to react on both sides, holding the emotions I grab. Exactly. And they're just, conducting business. It's like if I don't know, let's say I have a business selling sodas or water or whatever. When I put that commercial out to sell whatever I'm trying to sell, I'm trying to trigger emotions, excitement, fear, whatever it is, to get you to react to and overall, participate in my product. So the same thing applies to these financial markets. We're going to create excitement. We're going to create fear to get you excitement to get you interested into the product, but also there's going to be fear to get you to react. It's almost like controlling the time of the reaction. And controlling is not really the right word, but I'm working on lack of sleep, so I can't find the words. The words aren't coming to me right now. And then and with this structure, with this price action, and with this, I'm just gonna keep calling it budgeting, because that's what the overall goal from my perspective is, that we're gonna just budget, build our inventory, get the funds to be ready when we're ready to. We've built the liquidity above and below, and we already have in mind where it's likely for the next, bulk of participation to be. We like to believe that we set it, but it's only it's perceived control, right? But I'm gonna leave that thought right there. But I call this budgeting, so that when we're ready to take it to those point of interest, then we can just have all of the funds that we need to be able to grab as much inventory or as we can down there. Or if we grabbed a lot of inventory, we still need a budget to get that inventory to where the supply is, and dump our inventory off to supply. And if I just call it budgeting, that neutralizes the energy of whatever emotions that could be triggered from that price action. Yep, fear is the I'm missing out. I'm going to lose the sale. Is this really the time for me to be spending? All the lack of self-awareness to our actions gives fear to the ability to creep in. Absolutely. Appreciate you filling in the gaps in my brain. I wanna. And then like also from a product perspective, because I like to give analogies that are actually that most people are more familiar with versus just the narratives that's built around these financial markets. So like from a product perspective, there's also the fear side of, if I already bought a product, did I just waste my energy on this product? Is this product really serving me? Right? So, if I feel like this product isn't serving me, then I may, try to throw it away. So that's money lost there. And I don't want to, or I may try to go out and get the product at a cheaper price, or I'm acting outside of what may be in the best interest of what I've, planned it to be, because I already have this product. So how that kind of relates to what to us trading is, if I already bought the product and I'm thinking that the price of the value of the product is going to raise in value, it's going to raise in value, but they start playing with the inventory liquidity, I start to see the opposite of what I'm expecting to see. All things can still be in alignment with my original assessment, but because of the way that they're printing it, they're holding price, they're slowly just filling orders here and there for the actual, but everything still remains the same in terms of the value that you saw. You can still be emotionally triggered by fear that maybe this product isn't serving me the way that I want it to. So let me go ahead and just get out right now. Let me just, get rid of this product because it's not doing what I needed to do. I'm trying to think of something like physical that would actually be kind of the same as the idea I'm trying to express. But then you sell it off, you provide liquidity to the overall market, and then you provide the liquidity to wholesale, and then you actually get the value that you were waiting for. And then that's going to feed into later on having a fear and missing out. So what if they do it again? And now you end up still going outside of what you plan to do. So, overall, that's why I say that this market, all markets, but specifically the one that we're looking at here, is ran off of emotions. So that's why it's important to manage the emotions. And then, as a solution, one of the ones that I hear come up the most is, well, how do I control this fear that I have? And it's first, you don't really control your fear. It's something that you have. It's more so of managing it. And through managing your fear, you will find your control, right? If that makes sense. So if I have a fear of losing, right? Having a plan of what's going to happen, what I'm going to do when I lose, and then I keep going through that, and I keep executing on that plan. The more I execute on it, the more that fear will dissipate, and you will gain the control over your fear, right? So that, let's just say, for instance, I take a loan right here. I know that if price goes below 330, that I may be, that if that's my plan, then I have a plan to get out once price goes in that direction, right? Also having a plan for if price goes in the direction where I want it to go. Well, where am I going to react when the price is moving in my favor? Already having that planned out, that's step one. And that's the easy step. Now the hard thing is actually sticking to that plan, and that's where managing your emotions come into play, because when you're starting this, emotionally, you're going to get emotionally triggered 9 times out of 10. Like, unless you just already coming in having, this, what a majority of traders don't have, what a majority of new traders don't have, the ability to manage your emotions. Is the first time that you're participating in this environment. Unless you have that already, your emotions are going to get triggered, and you're going to more than likely get triggered into instances of not following your plan. But the more that you follow your plan and allow it to not work out like you would want it to. So I can't tell you what you would do, but for me personally, over time, I pretty much just got numb to it, to where it's just the norm, and it doesn't matter how many times I lose now. There's no emotional trigger, right? But I had to keep going through that process and keep going through those moments and experiencing those moments, gaining wisdom and familiarity with the product that I'm trading, right? NQ, understanding, that it's normal and all of that stuff. The more experience I get and the more wisdom I get from my participation and going through those moments, the less it's going to affect me emotionally as I move forward. And then from there, once you've done that enough and you've seen the results of your plan, then that's when you can decide, well, do I need to make a change to my plan, or do I was this a bad day, a bad week in terms of my plan in relation to what the market did. But to get to that point, you got to allow yourself to take the losses, allow yourself to get emotionally triggered, do whatever other external stuff, journaling, meditation, blah blah blah, right? All that stuff, whatever works for you. Working out, exercising, getting out in nature. That's a really good one. So if you have an emotionally triggering day, go outside, take a walk. A lot of times you don't want to do stuff like spend time with loved ones, because you'll end up being that emotional trigger. You end up, kind of not being as patient as you would normally be. But, whatever helps you release or to clear your mental space and get your emotions back in order, then go back and review. And then all the improvement and development stuff that I always talk about, right? always maintain awareness to self. And my awareness to self right now says it's the end of my trading session. And I'm about to go try to take a nap. So on that note, I appreciate everybody for coming through. Appreciate your origin as always. Hope everybody have a good weekend. I haven't really looked at the calendar yet to see exactly what's the plan for next Tuesday, which is the Independence Day for the U.S. But I'm expecting, well, I wouldn't be surprised to see low participation next week, which is usually the case, at least until Wednesday. So on that note, everybody, I hope everybody have a good weekend. Stay safe and all that stuff. And until the next time, trade it easy.